Hello everyone, the 316, Lego Maniac 316 here, with another Morphin Monday Lightning Collection review. This time, I got the Power Rangers Mighty Morphin versus 2-pack of Yellow Ranger, Aisha, and Scorpina. This set usually retails for about $41.99. I believe I got this for about $36 on Amazon. Again, you guys know my displeasure for Amazon, but you know, a good price is a good price, and they're usually pretty reliable about their products. I don't have to worry too much about getting something incorrect or wrong, but enough of that. Let's go ahead and take a look at the accessories. So you get a lot of accessories, especially for Mighty Morphin Yellow here. So for Yellow, she of course gets her power daggers, as well as two of these pinkish effect pieces we've seen so many times now. I don't like these effect pieces for the power daggers. They hardly stay in. It's kind of a balancing act at times. Let me go ahead and pull my light down just a little bit. I know that yellow looks kind of overexposed. Sorry about that. But yeah, you get the idea. Anyway, so let's go ahead and take a look at those power daggers. Now, I don't have the original release of Mighty Morphin Yellow, so I don't know if these are the exact same or not, but you can get a good idea of these. They look pretty nice and shiny. They're very similar paint to In Space Psycho Silver. Also, I did notice that something interesting is that if you notice on the sides of the daggers here, they actually have like a little bit that's going inward or outward depending on how you have them. And it does have the power coin of the Saber-Tooth Tiger on there. It's pretty hard to see, but there is some semblance of a sculpt of the Saber-Tooth Tiger. But again, it's so hard to see, especially on camera, but you got the idea. You kind of see the teeth there and the head. So, nice power daggers. Last couple weapons for Mighty Morphin Yellow here. You get the Blade Blaster in Blade in blaster form. You get both forms. It's been a while since we've seen it in blade form, so it's really nice to get it in blade form. I think there's only been like 2 or 3 figures that this has come with. There was the San Diego Comic-Con Red Ranger or Jason 2-pack. There was the self-shaded Pink Ranger that's a GameStop exclusive. I recently saw that in stores, but I'm not going to be getting that. I just don't find any value to it. And this may have come with another figure. I don't know. Let me know in the comments. And we have seen the blaster form of the Blade Blaster before. It looks less painted than the one that came with Dragon Shield Black back there, but I don't know. I think there's a little bit less white, but you get the idea. That covers the weapons. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the hands. So the hands, you get the typical, 2 fingers together and then 2 separate, and the thumbs, of course. And instead of a fisted hand, you get one that's open a bit more, but also has the same, 2 fingers separate from the other 2. But I'm not really sure why. I mean, maybe it's to use with the daggers here. If I can shove it in, so you can have it like lean forward a bit. I don't know why they didn't do that with both hands, but I mean, if you wanted to have it a bit forward, you could do that. And you, of course, get a left-handed karate chop. That's on basically every female figure I've taken a look at. And finally, the head sculpt of Aisha. And I need to get my light in on here just a little bit. Come on. Trying here. A little bit closer. There we go. There's the head sculpt for Aisha, and I think that looks pretty good to the actor likeness. Obviously this was, close to 30 years ago by this point. It looks good. I think the earrings are a nice painted gold. I have heard that some people have had problems with the scrunchy ponytail coming off when taking it out of the package. Just be careful if you do get this figure. Just take this head sculpt very carefully out of the package. Now, I would put this head sculpt on the figure, but I've heard that people have still been having neck issues with this particular Yellow Ranger, or just the Yellow Ranger in general. I'm trying to make sure she's not overexposed, but the yellow on this is very bright. So, alright, Scorpina's accessories. So Scorpina gets some really neat accessories. She gets an effect piece that we've seen before, but not in this nice purpley blue color. On camera, it looks a lot more purple. Like if you compare it to my table here, definitely that looks more purple on camera. But it has a bit of blue to it. And I think this is a black washed sword boomerang element. It doesn't have a name, at least per the Ranger Wiki, as far as I can tell, but it looks nice, it works. And I think it has a wash, but I could be wrong. It looks like it has a wash. Maybe it's just how they molded it and makes it look like it has one, but that looks really nice. Looks like metal or stone or something. And then hands. So for her right hand, you do get... Let's take a look at that. So that's what comes on the figure. Again, the the index and the middle, they're separate, and then these two are together. And you get a fist hand for that. And I wanted to take a look at the detail on this, if I can get... There we go. It actually looks like a human hand instead of just being a gloved hand. So I appreciate that they went the extra detail there. Speaking of hands, the left hand here, this is the gloved hand, and what I really like about this, if I can, it's really, there we go. It is gloved, and it's not focusing. It is gloved, and it looks good on the outside, but on the inside, they actually painted it red. So instead of having to worry too much about the paint chipping onto the hand, you don't have to worry about the paint chipping off the hand because they painted it red. And she also gets a red painted hand on the outside, like an open holding hand here. So, the hands look good on this figure. And let me go ahead and put her back into a regular pose. And since I already have her in hand, let's go ahead and take a look at her. Now, this is the reason most people are buying the set for this Scorpina figure. Now, I don't know if this is based upon the Super Sentai actress or the American actress. If I had to guess, it's probably based on the American actress because they may not have the likeness rights to the Japanese actors. That's my guess, but you could really use this for either or face sculpt wise. I'm not saying they look similar. I'm just saying that I don't know what the likeness rights are. But this could be representative of either the looks like Amy Kawaii version, which was the Super Sentai, or the Sabrina Lou version, which was the American version. So I think the face sculpt looks good. It looks like Scorpina. Again, I think this is the US actress, but let me know in the comments below. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think the paint work on this is really exceptional. They did a good job with the painting, but what I don't like is this kind of creamish gold plastic that they used. I just don't think it works for me. It's not like the nice shiny gold that's on the Zeo Rangers back there. I might as well get Rocky out here so you can see. So this is like the nice shiny gold, and then this is just molded gold plastic. Obviously, there was for a long time, especially with Transformers, the gold plastic syndrome where the plastic was very brittle. But as far as I know, most of the gold here is slightly rubbery, as you can see even on the thigh here. Although the shins, the feet, and I think this forearm here, those are all in the harder gold plastic. So if you have like a gold paint pen or something, I would recommend using it on this figure specifically. I think it would probably make it look a lot nicer. I really do like the sculpting detail, but I do have one negative about this figure. Look at the hips here. That just... It doesn't work for me. It's like compared to yellow back here, like look how close the hips are to the joint. These ones are so far down. It just... I mean, I understand why they did that. They did that because of this piece, so that well, on the package it shows like this, where it's above. But really, I think that's just for clearance. Also, so it doesn't scratch the nice silver paint on here. And I really can't tell if this bottom section piece is molded in black or yellow. I think it's molded in black, and then this is painted yellow, but it's really hard to tell. I think of this seam line here, it's a little open and it looks black on the inside. So I think this is a black lower piece, mid piece, and upper piece with everything else painted on, which I think they did a good job with that. There's the ab crunch. I just wanted to show you they did paint the red all the way down. Obviously not on this side because this is mostly just black back here, but I think it works. You got the silver detailing on the not clamps, the buckles, and that it looks nice. It shines off the light really well. It looks good, works. Now I think another issue I have with this figure is actually like the skin tone. The skin tone of the face and the arm looks good, but the torso here, that's the problem because it's this fleshy color painted on black, and the Lego group has a tough time with this too, having a really light color painted onto a black, dark gray, or a really dark surface. It doesn't come out the exact same color, so you'd have to use one or more coats. So on camera it's not too bad, but in person it's a little off. The shoulder piece here, I really like this because it actually moves with the arm. So if you rotated that forward, well, you might want to hold the whole thing, but basically it's just a rubber insert that goes in between the butterfly joint here and the shoulder joint. So on the side here you see that little gap there? That's where that would go, but on this side. And you could probably mod this if you're into customizing. Basically get a second one of these figures and put another one over here. But unless you're into modding, really no point. She does have like a nice upper like arm accessory here. And when I'm looking at the package here, it looks like the upper joint there was actually molded in or painted in yellow. Here it's just flesh with a little bit of yellow down here. I'm not a fan of that, but it's easy to hide. Like, you really can't tell. Really nice sculpting detail again on this like pauldron or forearmor. Forearmor. It looks good though. It's painted nicely. Again, I just wish it was in a nicer gold. I think this is supposed to be red up here, not black. That little tiny triangle that's at the end of the scorpion's tail. This is, again, rubbery plastic, so you can't pull this apart from the face. I don't recommend that. It'll probably warp over time. Like, this side's already coming up a little bit. The hair does get in the way of posability, but, you know, she can look down pretty good. And she can twist left and right decently enough, so that's all the way left and all the way right. Not too bad. Rest of the posability is the exact same for female rangers. So you're not really missing out on anything. The shoulder pauldron doesn't get in any way because it twists with the arm, and then you can, you know, rotate that upward. And while it looks weird, I'm glad that they did that this way. I wish they did that with Magna Defender, but you know, you win some, you lose some, right? I will note that my figure does have a problem standing because of these ankle joints. I have this problem with a lot of figures, not just the females, but like one joint is just slightly like forward than the other, and it's hard to stand. But she's probably resting on the package back there. Anyway, we're gonna quickly go over Mighty Morphin Yellow Ranger. This is my first Mighty Morphin Yellow Ranger figure. So one thing that I think is really weird about this figure is I have my studio lights on here. At least that's what I call them. But this is a really bright figure. That's the problem. She's really hard to pick up on camera because she gets overexposed. The yellow is just like it's like yellow, but with a little bit of highlighter to it. I want to show you the difference between this yellow and another Yellow Ranger. This is one of my only other Yellow Rangers. We got In Space Yellow, and it may not be as evident, but I mean, look at just how bright the Yellow Ranger is on the right there. Like, that is bright yellow. I mean, obviously, she's a little bit in shadow, but even if I swap them, I mean, the one on the left is still brighter. So, now, this figure feels kind of incomplete to me. not because of the skirt. It just feels small, you know? Like, it's not a bad figure. It's the exact same body mold we got for the original yellow, but I don't know. There's just something that's off about this that I can't place. Like, it just feels too small of a figure. Again, I still like it, and let's take a look at the power coin. Yeah, it's got a saber-tooth tiger on it. It's as small as they can make it reasonably. Now, I do have a few quality control issues with the helmet here. So the visor, as you can see, it's missing a bit of black paint there. That's easily fixable. That's not really too big an issue. But I also have a big black speck right underneath one of the ears. I have tried scratching it with my nails, but I'm going to have to use something a bit stronger. But, you know, if you get this figure, I hear that a lot of people are having issues with the visor. One thing I do like, though, is that her arms can be to her sides. A lot of male figures can't say that, especially like the Dino Thunder Rangers over there. I think that really covers everything. Now, again, I would show the civilian head sculpt on here, but yeah, I don't trust that joint, especially because I've heard a lot of people have been breaking theirs on yellow. Let's go ahead and stand them up here, and we'll go ahead and take a look at some size comparisons. And then we'll go to the packaging. So, size-wise, Scorpina is a bit taller, but with the ruler, you're looking at 6 3/4 inches for yellow, and you're looking at exactly 6 inches, like literally exactly 6 inches with Scorpina here. On camera, she might be a little taller, though. Camera adds height, right? Alright, Mighty Morphin. Let's start off with a villain. Rita Repulsa. Yeah, so we get some more Palace villains. Rita looks good with Scorpina. Glad to see more of the female villains getting figures. These are probably arguably the best figures of these characters we've ever gotten. Anyway, let's go ahead and take a look at the only Mighty Morphin Rangers I have. So, I've taken a look at this figure before. Mighty Morphin Pink, and they're basically the same height. Pink may be a little bit taller. Aisha, the actress who played her, she's like very short. She was shorter than both Kat, Thrin, and Kimberly. Weird that they're both starting with a C sound. Anyway, and my only other Mighty Morphin Ranger, I got Dragon Shield Black here. If he'll stand up. Don't do this to me. You know what I sacrificed? Sorry, meme culture. But yeah, you know, they look good together. I hope to get regular release Black soon, but I hear that he may be getting a release in wave, the next wave, wave 11. Hope to see what that is. There's a rumor going around it might be the Mastodon Sentry. I hope not, because that figure is going to be very hard to find, because it would be an army builder. But yeah, you know, the Mighty Morphin collection is complete for a lot of people. I don't have every Mighty Morphin Ranger, but it's nice to have at least 3, and I could always take off the Dragon Shield for this one. But, you know, they look good together. Hope to get red, blue, and then green and white at some point, although they're pretty expensive, especially on eBay. But if you need a red Ranger, I believe the pre-orders are still up on multiple different fan channel exclusive retailers, so go check those out if you still need those colors for red and I think Zeo Gold. Anyway, 2 packs are probably my favorite things about the Lightning collection. You just get so many accessories, and what I really like about them is the boxes. So let me go ahead and put them to the side here so we can take a look at the box. Now, the box here uses yellow and brown, or like a brownish color. Reminds me of like melted chocolate that's a little too bright. Anyway, nice render on the back there. You got the side here with Scorpina, and you got the side here for Mighty Morphin Yellow. It is strange how small they are. Usually, or rather, on the other Versus packs, they were almost completely cut down the center, whereas this is just a little off, but not too bad. I'm not a big fan of the color of the box on the one side, but you get the idea. Anyway, it says Mighty Morphin there, but you know, if you still need a Yellow Ranger, this obviously isn't Trini, but you get a really awesome Scorpina figure, which is the main draw of this set. And while some collectors say that that's a bad thing, that we're getting another release of Mighty Morphin Yellow, you know, Mighty Morphin is the cash cow, right? That's what everyone remembers Power Rangers for. It's always going to have some kind of representation in this Lightning Collection line. So I really like this 2-pack. I think you should buy it. It's really good. And I would recommend getting like a gold paint pen and painting up Scorpina so the gold looks a bit nicer. But other than that, I think they're really good figures. And while I'm not the biggest fan of how small feeling this is, it's good. And the yellow is a bit bright. Like, look how overexposed that is. Like, let me cover this light. It's crazy how overexposed that color yellow is. But again, thanks for watching, guys. Let me know in the comments below what other reviews you want to see me do. I got a few more Lightning Collection reviews planned out for the next coming weeks. Be sure to leave a like on the video. It helps other people find the video. Be sure to comment below. Be sure to subscribe and hit the bell to be notified when videos like this are uploaded to the channel, of course. As always, thanks for watching. Peace.